Elvis Presley is up to his neck in Girls, 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 including sexy Stella Stevens, as he plays a singer who runs a fishing boat business. Next.
The following is brought to you by the Walt Disney World Resort, where the new Millennium is pure magic.
In the year 2000, how old will you be? Who can do the math? You'll be my age. Wonder what you'll be doing.
Back then, you couldn't imagine you'd be at Walt Disney World, still feeling like a kid. Come be part of a year-long Millennium celebration you'll never forget. Just call 1-407-WDisney.
We'll be too old to do anything.
Celebrate the future, hand in hand.
Girls, Girls, Girls. It's not only the name of our next feature, it also describes the lifestyle Elvis Presley enjoyed at that time in his life. Now in Memphis, he saw his longtime girlfriend, Anita Wood. A typical date consisted of roller skating, where he rented the entire rink. And when he talked about renting a movie, he meant the whole theater, so he could enjoy the movie in peace. Now in Hollywood, he dated the A-list of starlets. Natalie Wood, Kim Novak, Rita Moreno, Dolores Hart, Joan Blackman, and the one that looked serious for a while, Anne Margaret. Now, Elvis wasn't surprised to find himself back in Hawaii for Girls, Girls, Girls. 2 years earlier, Blue Hawaii had been a hit at the box office, and the soundtrack quickly rose to #1. Well, producer Hal Wallace hoped to duplicate that success. Here's Elvis back in Hawaii with Girls, Girls, Girls. You know, it's interesting. Elvis wasn't really happy with some of the songs that he recorded for Girls, Girls, Girls. His longtime studio musicians, the Jordanaires, noticed that his heart really wasn't into his singing. They tried to be creative and give a mediocre song something special, but Elvis complained that the studio and his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, were demanding that he do typical Elvis songs. Parker, of course, wanted the cash to keep flowing in and felt Elvis should just be happy with the money. Elvis really wanted to hold out for better songs, but at the time that just was not an option. So he did his best with what he was given, even though he considered them typical and mediocre. For American Movie Classics, I'm John Burke.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Walt Disney World Resort, where the new Millennium is pure magic.
Hard to believe Daddy's gonna be 70.
Well, he looks good. Must be all that clean living.
Yeah, right. 70. Think about all he's seen.
He's never seen Walt Disney World.
This year, come celebrate milestones together at a year-long Millennium celebration your family will never forget. Just call 1-407-WDisney.
Well, young blood, now I've seen everything.
But I haven't. Come on.
Elvis Presley has some fun in Acapulco as he sings Bossa Nova Baby and plays a singing lifeguard romancing Ursula Andress in Mexico. Next.
At Wine.com, our experts make sure every wine we carry is a good one. Guaranteed. Wine.com, the best of wine.
Barbara Stanwyck stars with Elvis Presley in the movie that we're about to see, and if that seems like an odd pairing to you, you're not alone. When word got out that the two were working together for Paramount, more than a few folks in Hollywood did a double take. But Stanwyck, for one, thought it was great. She hadn't been getting as many offers as she used to, and the way that she saw it, working with Elvis would introduce her to a whole new audience. Kids who might not have seen Double Indemnity or Sorry, Wrong Number. She liked the character and thought it was a good part. Interestingly, the role had originally been offered to Mae West, but she'd asked for a major rewrite, and she wanted them to cut some musical numbers, which wasn't likely to happen. So producer Hal Wallace thought of Stanwyck next and knew she'd be perfect. Now, her presence in the film made critics take notice, and they were unanimously thrilled to see her back on the big screen. They were also impressed with the rest of the supporting cast. Musical numbers include One Track Heart, Hard Knocks, and a production number called Little Egypt that features a young Terry Garr. Here are Barbara Stanwyck and Elvis Presley in Roustabout. Though neither had been sure what to expect before filming started, Elvis Presley and Barbara Stanwyck got along quite well on the set of Roustabout. They even had a few things in common. Both loved making movies and were interested in motorcycles. And before long, the two were on Elvis's bike, zooming around the lot and posing for publicity shots. Well, of course, it didn't take long for the fan magazines to make the most of it, but when either was asked about the possibility of a romance, they could only laugh. Now, on the heels of Roustabout, Barbara Stanwyck would star with former husband Robert Taylor in William Castle's thriller, The Night Walker. And though her 4 earlier Academy Award nominations had not resulted in her taking home the prize, she was presented with an honorary Oscar in 1981 for superlative creativity and her unique contribution to the art of screen acting. For American Movie Classics, I'm John Burke.
The proceeding was brought to you by Wine.com, because finding the right wine shouldn't be so hard.
Tonight on AMC, Elvis Presley stars as a singing helicopter pilot in the breezy musical Paradise Hawaiian Style. Then, on American Pop, legendary Hepcat band leader Louis Prima is profiled in the swinging documentary Louis Prima, The Wildest. And on the American Pop feature, Louis Prima and his band perform in the Jump and Jive musical Hey Boy, Hey Girl. That's all tonight on AMC.
Hi, I'm Jodie Foster. And just like everyone, I got my favorite films. And it's scary to think that someday they could just disappear. But fear not. Thanks to the art of film preservation, everyone's favorite films can be restored and protected. And AMC is committed to just that.
Once I want to do something right.
So join me each week for another classic movie worth preserving.
Watch AMC's Film Preservation Classics with Jodie Foster. Every Sunday at noon, only on AMC.
We'll do the hard part. All you have to do is watch them.
Elvis Presley is an out-of-work airline pilot who returns home to Hawaii and starts a helicopter charter service in Paradise Hawaiian Style. Next. Tomorrow night on AMC, hang on for your life as Gene Hackman leads a capsized cast in Irwin Allen's classic disaster movie, The Poseidon Adventure. Then, George C. Scott plays a scientist whose talking dolphins become involved in an assassination plot in Mike Nichols' The Day of the Dolphin. And host John Burke presents interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and classic movie moments on AMC Behind the Screen. That's all tomorrow on AMC.
Did you know it could actually cost you more to call your state capital than your nation's capital?
I did not know that.
It's true. But with Sprint Nickel Nights Anywhere, in-state and out-of-state calls are all the same nickel all night long. Nickel across the state, nickel across the country.
It's almost too easy.
Sprint Nickel Nights Anywhere. You do the math. We'll do the geography. Switch to Sprint at 1-800-PIN-DROP.
By the 1960s, Paramount pretty well knew exactly what Elvis Presley fans wanted. They wanted to see an Elvis Presley movie with a lot of Elvis in it and plenty of opportunity for him to sing all those songs that everybody loves so well. Now, the movie we're about to see has a lot of both. Just like Blue Hawaii, only a lot better, because in this one, Elvis Presley really gets into the whole Polynesian cultural thing. He turns in his guitar for a ukulele, he beats a Tahitian log, he plays the bamboo pipes, and he rattles those bamboo sticks that they do. The locals were so impressed, they sent him home with his own set of handcrafted drums, something he always treasured. Here is the one and only Elvis in Paradise Hawaiian Style.